What's happening, everybody? This is Dan Beldowitz bringing you on purpose operating. So it's 2026. It is time to set some new goals, and everybody starts setting up these resolutions, and it's just that time of year. So what I was thinking about doing was really starting to go through what does it take, right? Everybody sets these goals, everybody has these grand visions, everybody really starts thinking a big game around New Year's, but nobody understands really what does it take? How do you actually make lasting change in your life instead of just setting the same resolutions over and over and over again? This isn't about just changing the things that you do. This isn't just about eating healthier. I want to lose some weight. I'd really like to make some more money. This is truly about fully committing into what it is that you do, your craft, where you're going, how you're going to get there, and really the belief systems that will actually make it happen, right? So a systematic approach to making everything happen, not just hoping that one day, someday, maybe you'll actually achieve your goals, because more people than not set the same resolution over and over again. And it's either got to do with health, wealth, or relationships. And we make the same mistakes. We fall into the same traps. We default back to our own pattern of behaviors. And that's one of the biggest pieces around this is acting at the effect of everything that's going on, acting as default, not truly building up an intentional lifestyle, not just something that happens to us because that's the next thing that comes along. But when you start to think about, and I love comparing this to a cell phone. Everybody gets the newest cell phone, and I get made fun of day and night. I've lost friends because I'm an Android user. I don't care. I'm that green bubble. I'm that guy. The rest of my family, wife, kids, everybody else I know is an Apple guy or Apple people. I don't care. I don't like Apple's operating system. I don't like their UI. That's just me. But everybody seems to constantly upgrade. Get me the latest, the newest phone. Get me iOS 17, whatever the hell it is. Upgrading their operating system on their phones more than they actually upgrade their operating system on their life. And that's what we're talking about here today is if you truly want to make a difference, if you truly want to set goals that you're actually going to attain, something that you can commit to, that you will actually go after, attain it, be happy with it, and grow with it, then you got to change your operating system. You got to upgrade your operating system. Everybody runs out, gets the latest phone, the latest upgrades, but they never sit there and think, what are my values? What are my belief systems? What's holding me back? What do I need to actually do? What do I need to say yes to? What do I need to say no to? Because when you start operating a new life in 2026 on an old operating system for yourself, you're bringing forward the same problems. Because you can't fix yesterday's problems with yesterday's thoughts. You can't solve the problems that you have with the same thinking that you went into it with. You've got to up-level it. You've got to upgrade. You've got to come up with some new ideas, new thoughts, new feelings, new actions, and actually go after this in a completely different way. Most coaches focus on the actions that you take in order to look at, hey, what are you doing? What are you achieving in life? Where aren't you achieving? Where are you getting stuck? Where are you getting blocked? Rather than looking at what's the energy of the thoughts that are coming out, so I understand what your default patterns are, and then truly looking at how do I change the thought, not just the action that I'm taking. Because I could take the action, and that's what happens is most people will change the actions that they do for a day, a week, a month, right? Every resolution are out there. You go out there right now, you see people running like crazy, biking. You go to the gyms, they're packed every morning, full parking lot. Give it 2 weeks, and that's over. That means that they didn't change the thoughts in their head. They just changed the things that they were doing. And it doesn't last until you change the thoughts that you're thinking. You'll never change the actions that you're doing. That's why with the on purpose operating system, you're going to look at your beliefs, then your thoughts, your feelings, your actions of what it is that you're doing and what you're getting out of it. And going into 26, without that, in truly upgrading your operating system, you'll get the same results that you did in 25. But if you did great in 25, keep on going, keep on growing, and keep working at it in 26. But if you need to and you want to upgrade your operating system, this is the video for you. So I'm Dan Beldowitz. I'm author of Wake Up on Purpose and creator of the On Purpose operating system. And this really dives into how do you do it? What are the 7 steps to actually upgrade your operating system? And these are the same steps. I've used this in business for probably the last 20 years. And I found that it was so interesting when I was doing this in consulting for lots of different companies in helping them grow their business. It was 7 steps. When I started getting involved in coaching, that was when I realized, oh, figuring this stuff out for life, it's the same 7 steps. I called them something different, but it was the same exact 7 steps. We'll go through each of those different steps so that you can upgrade your operating system so that you're not glitching in 2026. You're not running down your battery, and then you can start to tap into something else. You'll see that momentum starts to build. So just like downloading a new productivity app or a new plan or a New Year's resolution, any of that stuff, the OS that you're running, if you're running it on the same thoughts and patterns, right? You start to think, well, I'm not enough. I'm always going to quit. I don't have enough time. I'll start Monday. You start procrastinating. And then you start looking at how do you get into this stuff? So when we always start to reevaluate what are our values, what are our beliefs, and then how do we then tackle anything that you want to do, whether it is in health, wealth, and relationships. And we start to look at, hey, what are the thoughts, feelings, and actions that you have around each one of them, because they create a pattern. And where those patterns start to exist in any of those 3 areas of your life, you'll start to notice it throughout every other one inside. So what do we need to do? Let's start by just kind of taking a step back and allow yourself a few minutes to really get into this. I know you probably already set some resolutions. I know maybe you already bought a course, but this is truly 7-step framework. You can use this in any area of your life. You can use this at school, in a job, with your kids, parenting on purpose. All the on purpose operating system is universal across every single area of your life. And it is the shortcut to really getting to where you want to go. You do this, you just plug and play, run it through, same and over again. So what we're going to look at, the first step of the on purpose operating system is desire. What is it that you want? Knowing what it is that you want is going to be the key. I talk about this in so many other videos, and it still hits home every single time, right? Every system needs power. And the operating system that we run, on purpose operating system, ONOS, the power source is desire, right? If Napoleon Hill said, the desire is the starting point of all achievement. Most people aren't broken. They're just disconnected from what it is that they truly want. And when you're unmotivated, it's rare that you're going to have the discipline, 1, to see the problem, 2, to understand that you don't have a motivation problem. You've got a desire problem. Now, I need you to ask yourself, what is it that you really want for this year? If no one judged me, if you had a magic wand and you could just wave it and all your dreams came true, your goals and everything in 2027, all of a sudden your 2026 was your best year ever, what does that look like? What is it that you really want? And I don't want you to start with, well, I don't want this. I want a little bit less weight on my body. I want a little bit more money in my bank account. It's not enough to get you really excited. So once you start talking about what is it that you want, what's one area you want to focus on in the 3 categories of health, wealth, and relationships? If it's health, great. How much weight do you want to lose? Or what is the ideal body weight for you? And then we'll start to talk about what that gets into. If it's monetarily, if it's wealth, how much do you want to earn? How much do you want to earn this year? How much do you want your savings? And what does that look like? If it is a relationship, what do you want in that relationship? What do you want out of it? And who is it with? Is there a specific person, a type of person? Start to get more specific. All we have to do is raise our standards and understand what it is that we're really going after to start figuring out desire. 2, what would excite you enough to make the jump out of bed earlier? We all have the same amount of time in any given day. What's actually going to get you up? If your purpose, your passion isn't firing you up, if it's not getting you up out of bed, if it's not enough to get you past hitting the snooze button, then you don't have a fire. I did an experiment where you just light a match. And if you light one match, it's the equivalent to weak desire, right? Any small little wind can blow it out. Anybody can just pinch it and it's gone. Until you create a raging inferno, and that builds over time, like a growing fire. If you take one match, 2 matches, 3 matches, a whole book of matches, right? I talk about a book of whys, and everybody thinks it's a book of lies. No, the book is a match book. How many matchsticks are in your match book are the whys behind what it is that you want. And if you knew you couldn't fail, what would you go after? And it's the whys behind it. Maybe you're doing it for your mom. Maybe you're doing it for your dad. Maybe you're doing it for your kids. Maybe you're doing it for yourself. Maybe you're doing it for your aunt, your uncle. It doesn't matter. Line all of these whys up, right? Line up the people, the haters that told you that you couldn't do it. Line up the people that you love and that you're doing it for. Now, every single one of those is a matchstick. The more matches you have together, the bigger the flame, the harder it is to put out. So write down those ideas. What are your whys behind it? And that desire. What is it you want? Why do you want to have it? Why is it so important that it's going to fire you up, wake you up, and get going the next morning? And if desire is the fire, then vision is the telescope. And vision being the telescope is like looking into the future, right? Because without vision, your desire goes nowhere. With the vision, your desire has direction. Now, if you ever looked at the On Purpose logo, the O and the N, the N has a little arrow next to it, right? Representing the direction. And it's also for north, right? So you're north. The little N is a small ego. N pointing north. What's your North Star? What's your direction? Where are you going? That's the vision. You need to be able to see further out than just today, further out than tomorrow, next week, next year, in the next 5 years. If you can't look out 5 years and understand what it is that you're going after and how it relates back to every single day that you're doing it, you're missing out. That's where all of those whys start lining up. Because when you can look out 5 years, and if you've got kids, start thinking about where they're going to be in 5 years, where they're going to be in 10 years, right? What kids getting married? What kids graduate in college? What kids graduate in high school? Which kids graduate in 8th grade? What are their different milestones? Who's entering the pros for sports? Who's doing going to Carnegie Hall for music? Whatever it is, whatever your kids are into, if all of a sudden you can start relating the number of years out and what that looks like, all of a sudden your life becomes, whoa, what's going on? Now you can start to relate to why you're doing the things that you're doing. So at first, most times when you look through a telescope, it's going to be blurry. The whole point of that is the more details that you can talk through, the more that you can think through, the more you can feel through, the more it slowly sharpens the image. Suddenly, all of a sudden, there it is, right? The future self snapshot. Close your eyes for a second. And unless you're driving, don't do it. But if you're watching me on YouTube right now, close your eyes and start to imagine, what does an ideal day look like? Right? Imagine it's December 31st, 2026. What's an ideal day look like? Who are you with? What kind of work are you doing? How does your bank account look? What numbers in there? How does your body feel? Who are you talking to? How are you talking to them? You don't need every single detail, but you do need a clear feeling, right? A powerful image that's going to draw you forward. That is what's going to keep that going. This is when focus comes into play. The clearer we are, the more we dial in. One of the fastest ways to crash in any system is to have too many apps open, right? You've noticed it on your computer. You noticed it on your phone when you sit there on your Apples and you have to flick all of them up. When on my Android, I click one button and closes all the apps, whatever. If you have too many apps open, you'll notice it starts to slow down your phone. Same with you. If you've got a lot of feeling, being unbalanced, unproductive, it isn't because you're weak. It's because you're trying to run 37 projects, 7 goals, 9 goals, all at the same time. When you truly start to focus, and I'm talking 3, 5 max, right? And I pick 3 because health, wealth, and relationships are your biggest pain points ever. When you start to work on you, suddenly in every single area, all of those start to light up. So letting everything drop to maintenance mode, and then you focus on your core 3. And then I know, yeah, there's going to be people that say, but Dan, I want it all. I need it all now. Awesome. Keep doing it. Run 37 projects at the same time and notice how none of them actually get done. Try writing a book. Try creating a course. All of those things take focus. Try starting a business, having a relationship. You are out of balance before you get back into balance. That's one of the biggest things, right? I talked about it with Elon Musk or Oprah or any of the household names that you see right now. They were out of balance for a long time working on one thing, building their audience, building their business. In relationships, probably fell to crap for a whole bunch of them. Money may have fell to crap, may have been crap to start until their business got successful. But that doesn't last forever, right? Being unbalanced doesn't last forever. Eventually, you'll be able to put something else in maintenance mode and be able to enjoy and this is where truly understanding what season you're in, whether you're in a building season, a healing season, a scaling season, or a rest season. Each one of these has a different focus. Now, I know there are people, and I've gone through it. It's probably 2023, 2024. I was in rest, in heal. That's all I could do because going through 2 major surgeries back to back within 6 months knocked me out. And I figured it out real hard when I had internal bleeding and I couldn't figure out what was going on. And I finally had to be like, I should probably not walk 5 miles 4 days after a major surgery on my stomach. So yeah, I'm going to have to sit down and rest and sit this one out. You enjoy. I'm going to heal. I'll come back in 6 months, be bigger, badder, and better than ever. Now, why I do this, right? So those 4 seasons, yeah, it matches winter, spring, summer, and fall. Of course it does, because it's a natural ebb and flow. It fits perfectly into 360 days, right? So we get another 5 days off, but then you can break that down into 90-day windows. You can break that down each 90-day period into 30-day windows. Look at that. All of a sudden it's 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, a quarter. Hey, 1 quarter, 2 quarter, 3 quarter, 4 quarter, that's a full year. Now all of a sudden you can see how this systematically breaks down to fit into nature's code too. Okay, next, we need the map. We have the telescope. We can see where we're going. We start to focus. We have a better, clearer idea, and we've really focused in what it is that we want, where we're going to do this. We've got the fire built up, the destination. We've got our priorities set. Now we need to map this out. And where most people mix this up, the map is the massive action plan. This isn't just about the plan. It's less about the plan. This is more about building what are the daily habits that you're going to do? What are the habits you need to do on a quarterly basis that are going to get you to your goal? Break that down into monthly goals so that you know how to get there, the milestones along the way. Each month then is broken down into 4 weeks. Each week is broken down into 7 days. Each day is broken down into 24 hours. Now we keep segmenting this stuff down. We've got minutes, we've got seconds. Every single second counts. And when you can start planning this out, when you can put it out on a calendar and say, this block I'm doing this, or this entire day is a focus day, this entire day is an action day. When you can start laying that out, that's when the action really starts to take place. So why does it matter, right? That's your motivation. Write down in emotional language, not just corporate language. What does success look like 90 days from now? Make it visible, make it measurable, and make it specific. Not, I'd like to have an idea of a book and, have a good relationship. No. What does it look like? I want to write the first draft of a book, have it actually in an editor's hands and back to me within the first 90 days. Awesome. That's specific. Relationship. I want to spend this amount of time with my significant other, where I want to do these different things. This is the type of time and these are the type of activities. These are the feelings that I want to get out of it. And if it doesn't work, fine. If you don't hit that, great. At least you know what to do, but you're going to have to take the actions. Then it is, what are you going to do week by week? And I like to plan out week by week. I do Sunday planning sessions with my wife and my kids so that we can lay out all of our schedules because we've got a ton going on between baseball, softball, dance, college visits, college essays, doing all this other stuff, working, consulting, teaching, all of this different stuff going on. Everybody's got different schedules. We got cars going all over the place, and we still want to work on our marriage. We want to have fun with our kids. We want to make memories. We want to make money, and we want to keep going. It's imperative. Is it run like a business? Yeah, probably. Are we sitting around on the couch eating bonbons? Nope, no time for that. We've packed our schedule too much. But that map suddenly translates into, I don't need to think about it at 5 o'clock. What am I getting up to do? Or why am I getting up? Or why is it 11 o'clock? I still haven't gone to bed because I'm not done. Right. And that's why I do this throughout the entire planner, because this map then creates, I would call it a roadmap, GPS, something that you can follow step by step where you don't have to think. Thinking is the hardest part. If you ever had free time and you're like, what should I do? It's too easy to default to, I'm going to go watch a Netflix special. Let me go binge a season of, I don't even know what Game of Thrones. I don't watch anything. So I don't even know what's on. It doesn't matter. All of that other crap. If you map out and you say, here are my 3 top things that need to get done today, and you block out an hour and a half for each one of those, guarantee when you get to that block, you better be doing everything. Better be distraction free, not like, now it's time to straighten my bookshelf so that I'm prepared and that I need to clean up my space because now I need to think about this stuff. No, be clean. Be organized from the beginning. This way you can move from block to block and actually get shit done rather than sitting there procrastinating, thinking you're actually getting stuff done by organizing your space. If it's not organized, set that as one of your goals. Get organized, because as within, so without. What's going on in your head, if you are finding your space completely covered, if your car has a whole bunch of crap all over it, if your desk, if your office is a mess, if your kitchen counters are full of crap, if your garage gym has a whole bunch of clothes hanging on it, get organized, get cleaned up. This isn't the time. Now's the time for action. And that's the next step, right? Step 5 is action. Going from theory, the planning, all this other crap that happens inside your head now needs to happen. And everybody thinks, so the way that I do this is I put it in kind of a hexagon shape with habit going around all of it. And it looks nice, it's neat, it's orderly, everything's in a geometric shape. It's in a hexagon, so there's little triangles for each one, but it's not how it works. This comes down to the Pareto principle, and 20% that the going through your desire, getting the vision, focusing, building the map is 20% of your time, right? So if we were to talk about 90 days, that should be done in the first few days. Done, over with. Then it goes into action. Action is the rest of the time. It's like 97% is action, 3% is the prep, planning, and the measurement, and building it as a habit. This is where the rubber meets the road. There's a saying, the secret to getting ahead is getting started. And that's the best place. Everybody's like, I need this. I need the right running equipment. No, just get your ass off the couch and go run. It doesn't matter how far. I run 5 miles every single day on the treadmill because I like to meditate while I'm doing that. And it doesn't matter. I didn't start running 5 miles. I started with 1. I started at a 5 on the speed. Then I worked my way up and I was like, hey, let me keep building up. And then every mile I added more speed. And I just started doing it. You don't make the excuse. Don't allow yourself to be held back. Don't allow the old operating system to kick in. This is where the usual excuses, this is your default pattern. If you're going to build a life of intention, a life on purpose, this is about getting up, stepping up, and constantly upgrading. You're going to have to push. It's going to suck. And you're not going to feel like it. You're never going to feel like it. Everybody waits for this special feeling. Even I talk about purpose and passion. Great. Yeah. Where is it? It's in discipline. It's not a feeling. I'm purposeful and passionate about what it is that I do because I'm disciplined about doing it. So what's one meaningful action that you can actually tell your future self that you're going to take today, right? If you're in sales, how many calls is it? How many emails are you sending out? And honestly, don't even worry about the emails. Just make the calls. Calls are going to go way further. Do both. LinkedIn. Everything that, honestly, if you could judge your actions by resistance, is what you don't feel like doing and you do. That's going to have the biggest impact on what it is and where you get to in life. Doing the things you don't want to do, even though you don't feel like doing them. I don't wake up every day feeling like, woo, let's go, right? I'm a morning person, but once I'm up, but I got a whole routine that I go through. I got my whole meditation. It's a wake up on purpose opportunity process that I go through every single day. There's meditation in there, right? And then there's stretching in there. There's running. There's working out. All of that stuff is done before I'm fired up, gassed up, and you guys hear me or see me on video, whether it's quotes from the car, doing a video or an event. Doesn't matter what it is. I've already been up cranking through this stuff and gotten more stuff done by the time anybody else has rolled out of bed. But it is these tiny actions, and it's not a matter of whether I feel like it or not. It's just do. It's time, right? It's go time. I don't have time to think about this. Remove the thoughts, remove the feeling from it. That's why you create your week. And you know what time you start, you know what time you're going to stop. And it is what it is. There's no more let go with the feelings of, I don't feel like it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't come into the equation. Traction creates momentum. Momentum rewires your identity. And once your identity updates, now the operating system starts to lock in. That's really where habit and feedback start coming in. You've got to measure, are you getting to the right place? Don't sit there and say, hey, I ate healthy for one day, or I hit the gym one time and expect to lose the weight, right? Clarify your desire, created your vision, you've chosen your focus, you built your map, you've taken action. You don't stop. You measure it and then you keep going. This becomes a habit. Measurement is just, hey, what are the measures that you're actually going to do? And honestly, don't even worry about what the scale says, what your bank account says. Measure the actions that you're taking to actually get there. The leading indicators of the pieces that you put in place. How many times did you go to the gym? How many times did you eat right? How many calories did you actually take? How many calories did you burn? Do that week after week, and then you can get back on the scale in a month. Then you don't have to worry about it. What are the different calls? How many different calls are you making? How much are you doing? How much in your business are you doing? How many sales are you doing before you look at your bank account? Bank account's the last thing. Bank account, that number is a lagging indicator. Doesn't matter. What are you doing today and every day that leads up to that? And that's why you do weekly reviews, monthly reviews, quarterly reviews. You look at this stuff and make sure that it aligns with where you're going. Reconnect with your vision. Celebrate your wins. Refine your focus. Finally, you get to do it all over again. And that's the operating system. That's how you start operating on purpose. Because living by default is taking whatever comes at you at face value. Now is the time to really start evaluating what is it you do. So let this land. If you've ever felt unmotivated, unproductive, unclear, unbalanced, doesn't mean you're a failure. It means the current operating system has hit its limit. Good news, ONOS can fix that, right? The operating system can be upgraded. In 2026, you get to keep running the old code, or you get to install a new way of living. And that's purposeful, it's passionate, it's profitable. And you have clarity, structure, passion, and results. So if you like this, definitely subscribe. I'm going to be running through the next few weeks. I'm going to dive deeper into each one of these areas. So I'm going to have a whole series on developing your vision, getting your desires. We'll walk through step by step. Like, comment, follow through, and you can go to my site and download the workbook for this, danbeldowitz.com, and we'll see you in the next video.